Hello, blessed star family. I am the magical medium, and welcome to my home. I actually am loving the lighting right now. I'm leaving it this way. The sun is doing really cool things, and there's so many things I want to talk to you guys about. And for those of you who enjoy my life updates, I'm going to be doing a video. I'm not sure if Spirit is going to have me put it public yet or ever. So if you would like to hear what's been going on with me, really exciting news about our new home, and just like whatever, message me. Either comment below and let me know, or you can email me at themagicalmedium@gmail.com, and I will send you a link to it. For those of you who are already like in my like close-knit tribe, I will be texting and emailing that to you, okay? Shortly. But it was like so much, and I want to share so much with you guys, but at the same time, there's a lot going on, and I want to really get in that with you. And we're having another heat wave here where I live, and so I'm trying to do this while it's early, because it's about to be really hot. Yesterday was so hot. I was like, ugh. It's like that end of the summer, like I can't wait for summer to come, because I live in 8 months of like cold weather pretty much, or at least not like, summer. But yeah, so by the end of the summer, I'm like, I'm done. No, thank you. 90 degrees. I'm okay. You can go back to 70, 75. So anyway, let's jump in here. So yeah, let me know if you want that, but I'll be recording that probably after this, because I'm chomping at the bit to tell you guys. I have so much to share with you. It's really exciting. Anyway, today in real time is August 31st, 2022. Ooh, let's add that together. So 8 and 31. So 8 and 3 is 11, and then 12, and then 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Ooh, so it's a number 9. So it's a 9. Interesting. That kind of makes sense, because I do feel like a lot of us, especially in this tribe, I do feel like a lot of us, like the big bang, like the cool shit that's going to be coming through for us, that we're going to actually see the fruits of our labor. I don't believe it's going to happen for at least another month, but I feel like October is going to be very dreamy. September is going to be dreamy too, but it's going to be kind of like this, like kind of like hurry up and wait energy. We're going to stay in this Earth Virgo energy for a minute, right? And then we're going to switch over to the air energy of Libra on the 23rd. Oh, excuse me. No, that's Virgo. Libra's 22nd. So the other thing is, do not forget, in real time, Mercury is going retrograde on the 9th. We're already in the shadow. So take it easy. Like I said, don't, I had a moment with a bunch of my people yesterday, because, all of a sudden people were kind of planning things around me, and I was starting to feel really, really ungrounded. And then I had this moment where I just realized like what was happening. And if you remember in the last episode, the last picker reading, Spirit told us that our phrase, our saying, our mantra for Virgo season, one of our mantras from Virgo season, there's quite a few. Go, if you didn't see that, I'll put a link below. Always look in the link below in the description box. I always put fun, as my birthday sister says, Easter eggs in there. And there are just so many things that are happening. So Spirit wants us to be the observer. So be the observer, take a minute and just like look back and like kind of see what's going on. By the way, do you not love my new $3 t-shirt? This is the kind of shit I get at Old Navy. Like yesterday I was telling my friend, I was like, oh my God, I was like, I got all these cute clothes at Old Navy for like $38. And she's like, oh, I hate Old Navy. And I was like, I think there are certain stores, like I don't usually buy from stores like that, but every so often Spirit will like have me do things like this. And I pray for all the people who make the clothes, who You know what I mean? Wherever they were, I pray that they weren't in any sweatshops or anything like that, but I don't think so. But look at this. Tell me it's not like the old school peace sign from the 60s. I love it with Snoopy on top. And I feel like Snoopy's like, yeah, I'm at peace, man. I'm chill. So I feel like that's what September is going to be for us, is just be chill. Because, you know, in the opposite, there's something is scratching my head. In the opposite, that's spirit talking to me, energy of that is the muggle world where it's like, you know, let's go balls to the wall. It's like there is no, if you notice, we have been pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed through life, through the masses, society, you know, like all this bullshit. Like, you know, if you watch any old movies or read books or things like that, I mean, it still happens today, but you know, in a lot of times in the olden days when people were really poor, if people wanted things, people who had money, you know, they would buy them. They would buy their energy. They would buy their silence. They would buy their, you know, whatever. And, you know, we put laws and systems into place to protect those who cannot protect themselves. And I feel like this piece that's going on right now is that's why people are telling their stories. It's like with the abortion, it's like, I heard this story about this woman. I don't know if it's true or not, but it could be true. You know, even if they are making it up, it's like it's making a point where this woman, I guess, went to get an ultrasound, and the fetus is alive, but it doesn't have a head. So she's like, so I'm supposed to what? And there's just a lot of controversy that's happening right now. It's really shaking things up. They're trying to impeach the president. Every fucking president is like, gets some form of threatening of impeachment, you know, like one side to the other. And I'm just saying, like, right now, we need to be the observers in September and really see like what's going on underneath the surface with our friends, with our family, you know, just at our jobs, when we're in traffic. I spoke about this in one of the other things, episodes, where my husband was waiting for me in the parking lot while I was shopping, and he was just like fascinated. He was like, I don't know what is happening with me. He's like, but normally he would just, you know, watch stuff on YouTube, and he does. But he told me this particular instance. He said it was fascinating to watch people walking into this wine and spirits store. He's like, it was really fascinating. And then he just really started watching everybody. And, you know, he was saying that he watched people who were walking into, like, you know, they're like this. And then when they walk out, they're like, you know, they got the prize. They're like, I'm gonna get my drink on, you know. And which, good for them. Fuck, I miss drinking. I love to drink. Those of you who've known me when I used to drink, I love to drink. I love being drunk. I'm a super fucking fun drunk. An obnoxious drinking, singing my ass off drunk, you know. My fairy comes out, you know. But alcohol does not like me, and it does not like my body. I digress. But he was just saying, you know, but I get it. I get it. Like, I smoke weed. I smoked weed right before this. You know, it's like I contact the spirits, and, you know, I work with them. And then when we feel it's time, you know, I turn the camera on. You know, there's been times where I set up an episode, and I literally, like, it took like 4 hours before I actually did it. You know, and then it's, by the time I got to that 4 hours, I was like, oh, I understand, or this makes sense. So be the observer, you know. Thank you to the month of August. I don't know about you guys, but like the Lionsgate portal was amazing for me. A recap of August for me was just like, it was like stress, scary, beautiful, awesome. I don't know if you guys know, but like my cat, my familiar, she bit me. When we were trying to, the last day we were camping, last day we were out on the road and we were coming here, and we couldn't catch her. She didn't want to leave. She was just like, no, I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave. And I was like, we're going somewhere even better. And she was like, what's better than this? You know, it's like we were on the water. It was beautiful. But I was like, it's going to be better. I'm like, just please come, you know. And I couldn't get her in the cage, and she bit me, and it was really bad. And I had to go to the emergency room. I thought, you know, I could heal it, but anyway, that's a whole other story for another day. So, but that was interesting because I was like going balls to the wall, and then spirit was like, you need to relax, you need to chill. So as fucked up as it may seem to some people, my familiar biting me and causing an infection that, you know, sent me to fever kingdom, I a lot of stuff has been coming through since then, and it was like another step in my awakening. And we never ever stop learning or growing. We never do. It's just never ending. We come here with a clean slate of our mind, and into these soul, like our soul is injected into these human avatars. But the whole point of playing Earth is to start over from the very beginning, so you can learn the lessons again. That's why some things you get right away, because that was a lesson you learned before. You get it, your soul remembers it, it's like you got it. Then there are other things that take a little bit longer, and the resistance is different for everybody. The resistance could be that you're resisting it because it's something that's uncomfortable. You've never been through this before. This is the first incarnation that's happening. It was just really, really profound. I met someone yesterday or spoke with someone yesterday who told me about someone that they knew who had I think she said 1900 lives. And I was like, wow, really? I'm like, that's fascinating. She's like, yeah, you have to meet him. He's really, powerful and stuff. So anyway, it was just really neat. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. I'm like, because I didn't even know that existed, because in my level of consciousness, I don't say anyone's right or wrong. I'm just like, oh, that's interesting. I'm like, I'm not saying it's not true. I'm like, I don't know anything like that. That's interesting. So each time we come here, we have a deeper knowledge and perspective of what it's like to be human. And we also bring things with us from wherever we've been before. Earth is not the only planet. This is not the only solar system. The universe is so big, it just keeps creating itself. The Big Bang Theory, I've been doing a lot of research, and my husband loves researching science and outer space and things like that. And I love it too, because it gives me like a chance to see things from a different angle and a different perspective, even though I work with different energies and entities from all of the universe. And I know that we're one. I know we come from the same. And, it's like the pyramid scheme. But is it, right? It's like, there's a reason why it's called a pyramid, right? Because everything starts from one thing. And then, we just keep growing and growing and growing, and our roots get deeper and deeper and deeper, and we just keep going, going, going until we're so vast, right? Like we're like so out here that we're just like lost in the abyss, and it can feel really overwhelming. But part of the overwhelming is that the Muggle wants us to learn how to, or I should say, the Muggle keeps us in boxes. And it's not just the Muggle, it's the Muggles around us. It's those who still don't believe in magic and miracles, that they don't understand like what's really happening here, and how beautiful it is. And the other day, my husband was on ayahuasca, and he had this really profound experience. I actually watched him for a while. We always make sure that one of us, if anybody's doing any type of journeying like that with spirit through plant medicine, we always make sure there's an angel, as they say, that's, if something happens, God forbid, God forbid, never has, but you never know. But it was just really beautiful to watch them having this experience on our new land. Like, and FYI, yes, we got the house. We're taking it. It's really exciting. I'll tell you guys more about it later. Like I said, that's going to be more in my personal video. If you'd like to see it, let me know. But yeah, there's just so much. There's just so much goodness that's happening, and the connection between humans and the earth. Like, we're just getting back in tune with the spirits, Like, I have these visions of like people like leaning up against trees, and the trees like coming in and like literally like hugging them and like healing them. I believe that's true. I believe those trees exist somewhere here. I've spoke to a lot of people. It's interesting. Alder and I were both thinking how interesting it is that we've had so many military people. I lost count how many military people have come into our orbit in the last like few years. I would say several years, but I feel like it's been a few years, but definitely in the last several months. And intense cool stories, people who have knowledge of things, that happened or that they witnessed, that they were like, I can't explain that, kind of thing. They're like, the government knows everything. Of course they do. They want to keep us, sheltered from giants and fairies and gnomes and like all of these things that are real, that are still here. There's a whole world in my view, from what I get from spirit, especially when I work with Sandalphon or like any of the earth energies, the crystalline grid. Anytime I work with that energy, I feel and see this world inside of earth. I feel like we're almost like the scabs living, like this is the hell part, right? Like we're between the earth and the sky, but in the inner earth, I feel like there are portals and there are like magic, and I believe that. I believe that. I believe that there are waterfalls and different beings and fairies and elves, and I feel like we share this planet. You can even look at it as a dimensional experience. I mean, it's really the way you look at it. In my view, the way I like to see it is through the eyes of like Lord of the Rings and things like that. I don't want to think of Game of Thrones. Hold on. Spirit's like, speak your truth, speak your truth. Also drink some water. I just had some water. So stay hydrated, stay hydrated. But I love the Game of Thrones, and I love like, like how people change sides because it's like the good is fighting for good and all that. But at the same time, I can go without all the violence and like the, sex is beautiful and I don't want to, whatever. But I think a lot of that is gratuitous. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it didn't happen like that back then or it's not happening like that now, but I feel like that's another thing we're trying to change too, which is why I love and promote sex workers, because there's just so much damage that's been done to us through the ages, through the centuries, through time, and also history. We don't really know, like we only know what our ancestors tell us. But, there are so many things that have happened on Earth over time and space. And, they've done studies on archaeological digs and stuff, right? Where they're like, there's no way anything could have made this but lasers. Like, they're like, I'm telling you, there's no fucking chisel and hammer. They're like, that I know of. These are people who studied it their whole lifetime. So, it's like we're here for a blip. We're here for a blip. So sure, probably has been here 1900 times. I'm like, holy fuck, you know what I mean? Like, I want to talk to that person. Maybe I have. Maybe I've been here a million. I don't know. But there's just so many nuances of things that have happened. And right now we're kind of in this kaleidoscope of energy from our past lives, our present. We can feel the future. We know what we have to do to keep, the planet taking good care of itself, the topsoil and all that. I personally do not believe, this is just from my own personal belief, I believe that Earth is a very special place, and I know that the humans have done some really fucked up shit to it, but I think that's why we've had a lot of these catastrophic events. Even the burnings of the forest fires, it's fucking devastating. Of course it's devastating. But it's also a wake-up call, to say, stop fucking around. It's like my mom always used to say, just because you can doesn't mean you should, right? Just because you can take, let's just say a silly example. So let's just say you can take a Mentos candy and throw it in a bottle of Coca-Cola and it'll, explode like a volcano, right? Because you take these things together, and that's a fun, harmless one, right? But that's a fun, harmless one. But when we do that with chemical weapons and things like that, and I saw something recently that they're passing out pills for somebody that's on a nuclear, something is leaking. I mean, at this point, there's so much fuckery about that it's almost impossible to, detect what the truth is anymore. That's why Spirit and I always promote going within, checking inward, meditating, connecting with your spirit guides, and listening to what's true. Because, yesterday, this very powerful wizard and I were talking about, he was talking about Chicken Little. And I was like, yeah. And I'm like, the sky is falling. And he's like, yeah. And it made me think about what's really going on right now. It feels like this kind of like the sky is falling mentality. And that's what they want. Because the more scared you are, the more darkness feeds. And that's what they want. Because fear People who are scared, people who are attached to things, people, emotions, whatever it is, are afraid of losing it. And when people are afraid of losing something, they'll give up other things. Do you hear me? You feel me? So, with that being said, we have to really think about where we are, where we're going, and where we've been. But don't live there. And don't think too long, because the truth is we really only have right now. So be present. I heard this Deepak Chopra, if I can find it. Sure, spirit. Oh, throat chakra. I'll put it down below. Oh, Shungite. Anyway, but he spoke about that. This is Shungite, and they asked me to speak about this because another little powerful warrior yesterday, 6-year-old warrior, said, "What's that?" And I said, "Oh, that's Shungite." So Shungite. I'll put it below in the description box, and you can research it on your own. And if you can, get yourself some righteously sourced Shungite and keep it in your water, because I'm noticing a lot of people right now, there's a lot of hypochondriac energy out there. People will fake being sick or fake something to get out of something. I've done it too. Yesterday, I really didn't want to do something, but I was feeling this pull to do something. And then I was like, okay, this feels like it was in my soul contract, so I'm going to do it. After I got there, I felt better, had a really great conversation with people. Everything was good. And I was like, I'm glad I did it. However, I also realized that when we get around like-minded, people, and everybody's at different levels of consciousness, the energy in the room can be like, and if you're a sensitive like me, that will be really difficult for you. So I realized yesterday, and I finally just came clean with, because there was a bunch of us together, and I was like, I love being here. I'm like, I love being with all of you guys. I'm like, but it is intense. I'm like, because you're all so powerful. I'm like, you all have different gifts, but they're not fully awake to what their gifts are yet. And it's like watching, a toddler about to go out into traffic, and you're just like, no. It's like, they're going to be okay. Everything's going to be fine. But it's like they're on that brink of, it's like kind of scary. I'm sorry, that was kind of a fucked up visual. But it kind of is, though, because if we're not doing things, it was just I had to be the observer and just watch certain things and how things were going. I wanted to interrupt so many times or interject. A few times I did, a few times I pulled back. Sometimes I was like, I must speak. I'm like, the spirits are coming through, the ancestors are coming through. I must speak right now. But I'm just learning a lot about myself and why I'm here. And we cannot let, especially I'm in a room that's, that starts from the youngest of 6 years old to 79 years old, and all ages in between. And it was really beautiful and it's amazing. But at the same time, it's like, wow. And I find myself gravitating to the 6-year-old mostly. And I have the most fun when I'm with the 6-year-old and the 79-year-old. Those are my two where I feel the most like myself, because we've got one coming in and one in their elder, towards the end. A lot of life experience, many wars, seen many things. And the young one coming in, observing, seeing things, being the observer, noticing everything, noticing this. Nobody said anything about this. I've had it in there every time I've gone over there. And I think maybe one time somebody commented, but out of the mouths of babes. So Shungite is just like a natural healing stone, and I just make sure it's really, washed and everything, and bless it up. Selenite, obviously, don't get wet, but you once it's cleaned and everything, you put it next to your selenite, and just make sure it's clear. Some people believe you don't have to do that with Shungite. The whole point is it's like a cleaning, cleansing energy. But I do find when it's in my water, because I bless my water every time so you know what I'm saying? It's so I don't know. But there's definitely something about that. Anyway, there's so many things. It's just been really cool to be the observer and just to see what's going on, and to also like put myself back into a community. I haven't done this in a long time. We are living in a brand new place. We literally moved like, almost 2.5 hours away from where we were living for 5 years. And now we're living in our dream spot that we thought we were only going to be able to afford once we retired. And so I was like, are we retiring, Spirit? And they're like, no, you're just beginning. And we both just turned 50 this last year, so I'll be 51 in December. But so it's really been powerful. Oh, and then yesterday was so awesome. I have to tell you, this is really funny. So the 6-year-old, he was guessing ages, and I said, oh, I go, well, you don't know me at all, so you don't know my age. Because they were like, oh, you know that, because that's my age. And he's like, ah, ha, ha. And I go, well, guess my age, because you don't know my age at all, do you? And he's like, no. And I said, how old do you think I am? And I was like, it's okay, you can, and he goes, 30. I'm like, And he goes, 37? And I said, you're awesome. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. I'm like, thanks, buddy. I'm like, I feel 37. I was like, that's awesome, I go, no, I'm 50. And he's like, wow. And I was like, yeah, I'm 50. And he's like, wow. And I said, how old is Opa? Who's the 79-year-old. And he's like, I go, if you didn't know Opa, if you didn't know him, like you didn't know me, he's really bright. And I said, how old would you say Opa is? And he's like, 53? I looked at him and I go, oh man, I was so close. I couldn't just leave it alone. Because he's 79. So if he said that I'm 50 and I look 37, I was like, what? But it was just really funny. But out of the mouths of babes, man. So, but it's been amazing being around this family, and and I didn't realize how much we needed it, Alder and I, like a whole different change, a whole different community, a whole new group of people. And now I really understand why Spirit asked me to remove everything and change Lula's Labyrinth to the magical medium, because they knew that this was going to be the year that because they had me start in January of this year, and they knew this was going to be like my big year. I kind of thought so when I turned 50. I always had this feeling. I saw a medium long ago who she basically told me that when I turned 49, she told me a lot of things, but basically she told me that when I turned 50, like it was going to be like winning the lottery. And wait till you guys see our new house. I'm so excited. It's going to take a lot of time. We have a lot of remodeling to do. We might not get in. We're obviously not going to get in there until October, but that's okay. We're going to make shit happen, and we're really excited. And like I said, if you want to know more about that, feel free to email me at themagicalmedium@gmail.com. Hold on. And I'll send you a link. Okay, so here we go. So it came out twice. You saw it. So I asked Spirit for this. We are in right now in real time, August 31st. We're in the waxing crescent energy. So waxing crescent energy is really when you want to set your intentions. When the new moon happens, in my experience, and I've been working closely with the moon now for quite some time. I'm a moon day baby. But what happens when we get to the end of one moon cycle and we're beginning another, there's like, that's why it's so dark. That's why they call it the dark moon, the new moon. It's because the other one has finally, gone into the waning crescent, and it is now done, and a brand new cycle is going to begin. So we need that shift in between the last moon cycle and the new moon cycle. We need that shift in between. And so I feel like, and also, not just, I've been studying it, but the waxing crescent is the second moon phase, because now we are officially in this new moon cycle. We're in the Virgo moon cycle, and now we really want to set our intentions. But we're coming off the other moon, right? And the last moon that was in Leo, hello, we had that super moon, and during the Lionsgate portal, there was just so much that happened. It was so powerful and so wonderful. But we need a little break, right? We come from that waning energy of rest and restore, and then we come back into the new moon cycle. I love how the sun just did it. I was like, yay. So now we're in the setting intention phase, And these are the energies that Spirit wants us to work on. You can, and maybe you'll have other things individual, right? I have a feeling Spirit's going to have me do a really cool reading for September. I think I'm doing it tomorrow. I don't know exactly what it is. I have 2 things that are coming up that I think they are, but I don't know. So I don't want to put it out there yet. It's going to be a surprise for me too, because I don't really know. So the energy they want us to focus on is love. So during this Virgo moon cycle, focus on love. This is my homemade oracle deck. I love making art like this. I love, when I was younger, bubble letters. Like, people tell me all the time, you should make fonts. I probably should, but anyway, so listen, Spirit had me do love in many different colors, because red is for love, meaning like relationship love. I have one in green for the heart chakra, pink, purple, for all different stages. But this is about hot and heavy love. That's why it looks like this, right? It's got a heart in the middle. So focus on your love relationships. If you are a single, I have a feeling, keep your eyes open, because I have a feeling there's some beautiful energies that are coming your way. And it might be permanent, and it might be temporary. I don't know. I've never tried to set up my new oracle cards. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Spirit hasn't, there's nothing, because this is a mass reading for many of us, right? And welcome to the new subscribers. We're so happy to have you here. And thank you to those who keep coming back. And when you subscribe, you'll get notified when I do new videos. Lots going to be changing and happening on my channel, because this kitchen witch is really going to get her kitchen witch on. We're going to be working on the house for the next few months, but very excited to see like what's going to happen. We're putting in new solar panels too. There's just a lot of cool things that are going to be coming down the pipeline. So yeah, it's going to be neat. And I have a feeling Spirit's going to have me do readings like while I'm like in that kind of energy, or like, I don't know. Anyway, we'll see. But I see visions of things. We'll see what happens. But yeah, so love is coming your way, singles. And those of you who are in relationships for September and for this Virgo moon energy, focus on love and your relationships. Don't let the little things blow up into big things. And for those of you who are dating, if it's a deal breaker, Spirit wants you to ask yourself, what kind of deal breaker is it? Like yesterday I had this conversation with someone where I was like, wow, I was really surprised to find out that your partner, who's this powerful warrior, I'm like, smokes cigarettes. And I said, but they're not the only Reiki I've ever met that does that. I said I had another friend who's a really powerful Reiki, and she loved to smoke cigarettes, and it's just her thing, whatever. And she's like, yeah. And she's like, I let him smoke in the kitchen by the window, she's like, he would go outside if I asked him to. She goes, but then I thought, you know what? It's far enough away from me. I don't smell like smoke. The house doesn't smell like smoke. He smokes natural, organic tobacco. And she's like, it's just what he likes. It's what he enjoys. And she's like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Like, everything else is awesome. I love our relationship. Like, right? So it may be an icky thing you don't want to deal with, but we all have things. We all have things, right? So whatever that is, Spirit's saying, never mind the little things. From Point of No Return. We talked about that recently, right? So if you're dating and you find somebody that you really, really like, maybe if it's something you can live with, don't let it be a deal breaker. Or maybe get to know them better. Maybe you're just meant to go on a path with them for a year, and you're going to learn more about yourself. Or, I had a lover once that literally like healed a lot of sexual trauma that I had no idea I was dealing with. He was a really powerful wizard. And I didn't realize until I was trying to make it into more of a serious relationship. He's like, I'm not the person for you. He's like, I'm just here to help you through this. Just like you're here to help me, blah, 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 And I was really grateful for that. So you never know. So don't kick somebody out of bed for eating crackers, right? Just fucking get the dust buster, get them off, Peace. Focus on peace. Remember, we were talking about being the observer. So focus on peace. Okay? Peace in your mind, peace in your heart, peace in your soul. Just letting the little shit go. It's the big stuff to worry about, right? I saw something yesterday. I was like, like, and I talked to my spouse about it, and I was just like, hey, you think I should say something, or and he's like, I think you just let, like, it's whatever, you know. And I was like, all right, if it happens again in my presence, maybe I'll just, speak for the animal and be like, hey, that's not cool. That's not them, because we forget that our animals and our familiars are protectors. I don't care if you have a pet, if you have an ant farm, you know, all beings have some form of intelligence. Some are like workers and don't have the same levels of intelligence, right? But instinct is a form of intelligence. So if an ant is, just knows to, whatever, it's like the sugar ants, people are like, oh, who cares about, I don't care about them. I'm like, yeah, but something drives them to go there. Their intuition, their instinct, something is telling them to go there. So, it's like there's a connection there. But we must respect and honor all creatures, and from the plants to the, and thanking everything. Gratitude is a big one. Oh, look it, we got love again. I just heard, because we're running out of time. So love. Now this one is the green. What did I say? Heart chakra. So they kind of go hand in hand, right? Though peace, love, all of these, and respect, right? Respecting our significant others and just respecting people in general and coming from love in our heart. Because right now, we really need it. All you need is love and peace. And the hippies, man. That's what I'm saying. It's like Spirit drew me to go in there and get this shirt for a reason. It's like, we need the hippies right now. I'm like, Goddess bless us. I'm a hippie too, man. Like, it's like, hippie to me is a positive term. It's like, those are people who see the world in a completely different way that other people don't see it and need to. Not need to, I don't want to tell anybody what to do, but it's going to make a huge difference in the world if we are, promoting love and peace on the regular. And take those moments to, like, back up the fucking truck. Oh my God. Oh, this little chipmunk just like ran down. We're on a slope because our house is at the top of the hill, and we're like halfway in between while being finished. We're living in this RV. So it's a really steady incline. So I literally just watched this chipmunk come flying. It was awesome. So chipmunk spirit medicine, it's been coming up how many times? So work with chipmunk spirit medicine. I'll put it below. And yeah, take good care of your animals. And for those of you, I'm feeling like some of you are missing having a pet, then get one. Okay. Oh, we got some here. These came up last time. Inner beauty. Working with your inner beauty. You're beautiful just the way you are. I've been getting this one from Spirit because I'm just not in this place where I want to be with my body, and I've been really hard on myself. And Spirit's like, oh, you got to love yourself, girl. Like, you have got to stop. And I was like, wow, I just didn't really... It's so deeply ingrained. I didn't realize how much from my friends, my family, society. I worked in fashion. I was, I moved to Los Angeles when I was 23 to be an actress and modeling and singing. And everything was about my body and how I looked. And I couldn't take it anymore. I had to get the fuck out of there. I'm like, if I stay here, this place will kill me. I really seriously knew it would. So, don't let shit, just fucking be yourself. Just be yourself as much as possible. I know it's hard. I know. I'm with you. But you're so beautiful. Let your inner beauty shine. And look, never look back. And never look back. Don't go back to a place that doesn't work for you, for your mind, for your body, for your soul. Stay within your love for self. And also, look at this. I mean, I couldn't make it up if I tried. I love my new Oracle deck. It's just so fun. Okay, you guys. So those are our messages for this beautiful waxing crescent Virgo moon. So until next time, take really good care of yourselves and each other, and also look out for, make sure to subscribe and like and comment so we can get into the algorithm, so we can bring more of our tribe and more of the awakening to the masses. But yeah, I'm going to be doing something really cool and really special for September. So keep your eyes open for that. I think they're going to have me record it tomorrow, so it'll be coming out over the next few days. Okay, until next time, I love you guys so much. Blessed be. Oh, bye.